This is Maundy Thursday. It is the start of a very sacred 3-day time and during a Holy Week. And so tonight I'm going to just read to you what happened on that night. And it's the night that we remember when Jesus was betrayed, when he was at the Passover meal with his disciples. So there's not going to be a bedtime story, just a Bible story I want to share with you tonight. The first one I want to share with you is called The Last Supper, and it's in the Spark Storybook Bible on page 364. Jesus knew that the time had come for him to leave this world. He wanted to share his last Passover meal together with his 12 closest friends, the disciples. Jesus loved his friends and wanted to show them his love in a very caring way. As the friends got ready for the meal, Jesus put water in a large bowl and knelt down on the floor. He wanted to wash the feet of each disciple. When it was Peter's turn, Peter said to Jesus, "You will never wash my feet." But Jesus replied, "Peter, you don't understand what I'm doing now, but you will later." Peter loved Jesus so much that he said, "Then don't just wash my feet, but my head and my hands also." Peter wanted to be as close to Jesus as possible. As they were eating, Jesus sadly told his disciples, "Soon one of you will betray me. One of you will tell people who don't like me where I am so they can take me away." This upset the disciples, and each one said, "It's not me you're talking about, is it?" When Judas said this, Jesus gently replied, "Yes, Judas, you will betray me." Then Jesus picked up a loaf of bread. He blessed it and gave some to each of his friends, saying, "Take this bread and eat it. This is my body." Then Jesus picked up a cup of wine, and he gave thanks and said, "Drink this. It is my blood which I must give up so the sins of people may be forgiven." When the meal was over, Jesus and his friends went to a place called the Mount of Olives. Jesus said sadly, "Soon you will all leave me." Peter felt bad. "Even if all the others leave you, I won't," he said. Jesus looked at his dear friend and said quietly, "Before the sun rises, you will pretend you don't know me 3 times." And Peter said, "Jesus, I love you too much to ever do that to you." And all of the other disciples said the same thing. And now the story of Jesus is betrayed on page 370. Jesus had a good friend named Peter who was there when Jesus healed people and made miracles happen. Jesus liked Peter so much he gave Peter the nickname the Rock. Jesus had another friend named Judas. Peter, Jesus, Judas, and the other disciple spent lots of time together. They were all together when Jesus told them that his life had to end. It was a sad and hard time for Jesus and his friends. Jesus felt so sad that he went to a quiet place in a garden and prayed. "Please, God," Jesus prayed, "make me strong. Help me trust you." Jesus asked the disciples to come to the garden and stay awake while he prayed, but they fell asleep. "Wake up, wake up, wake up," Jesus told the disciples 3 times. When Jesus finished praying, It was time for them to go and face hard things. Even though Jesus had many friends, he had some bad enemies too. Some people were scared that Jesus would change the world too much with love. Judas got scared too. He let Jesus down. Judas told some of Jesus' enemies where Jesus was. When soldiers came to the garden, Judas kissed Jesus on the cheek to show them who they were looking for. The soldiers took Jesus away. Judas and Peter ran away and hid. They were so scared. Later, Peter waited outside the place where Jesus was on trial. A girl saw Peter and said, "He's a friend of Jesus. He's in trouble too." Peter wanted to help his friend Jesus, but he was scared. So he pretended he didn't know Jesus. "I don't know him. I don't know him. I don't know him," Peter said. His lie made him feel even worse inside. Peter ran away again. He cried and cried. Peter felt so sad for Jesus. Peter felt very, very sorry. But Jesus knew that Peter loved him. Jesus knew that Peter was his friend. That's why he had given Peter such a special job. The rock became a strong leader in the church. He told many, many people about his best friend, Jesus. "I know him. I know him. I know him," Peter told everyone. And that was the truth. Here's a question for you to think about tonight. Has a friend ever let you down like Peter and Judas? What happened? How did it make you feel? Sleep in peace. God is awake. Good night.